are surely beautiful things. Did not Anatole France once say, to accomplish great things, we must not only act, but also dream, not only plan, but also believe? Well, I believe you are going to hear a great concert tonight, courtesy of Aria412 and the rich panoply of Pittsburgh talent that we call family. No less than Yoko Ono reminds us that Paul stinks. No, sorry. A dream you dream alone is only a dream. A dream you dream together is reality. So many thanks to you, our wonderful Aria412 audience and community, for making these concerts a reality. If you didn't show up, we couldn't do them. So we so appreciate you. Thank you for coming. With your generous giving and just showing up month after month and being a part of this, it means so much to us. Thank you. A little bit. I know. Pause to cry. There's going to be a lot of crying tonight. Weeping, wailing, gnashing of teeth. Let's see where. Oh, Happy Jewish New Year, by the way. Yes. The biblical name for Rosh Hashanah is unpronounceable by me, but it literally means day of shouting or blasting. So can you help us make it loud over here? Can you shout and blast? Woo! That's right. Now put your hands together for our singers tonight. We've got Zoie Beckas, Chantal Braziel, Robert Frankenberry, Thespina Christulides, my fellow Greek goddess, Katie Manukyan, and Seamus Ricci. Our Aria412 Brain Trust is, as always, Kelly Lynch and Desiree Soteres. Our longtime #1 accompanist and good friend is Matt Dreamy Fingers Gillespie. And me, I'm your ivory gate of an MC, which means you shouldn't believe anything I say. I'm making up everything as I go tonight. So hang on as the inimitable Rod Frankenberry comes up to sing us a vision of the Land of Smiles by Franz Lahar of the Austro-Hungarian Lahars. Woo! It's just so fun to say Austro-Hungarian. It's like, make up your mind, Franz. Are you Austrian or Hungarian? He's best known for his operetta The Merry Widow. Gustav Mahler loved it, and I'm sure you will love this after you hear Rob sing it. Here he comes now. Matt Gillespie with Rob Frankenberry. Yeah.
Vivo des Herz, wo du nicht bist, kann ich nicht sein. So wie die Blume welkt, wenn sie nicht küsst, der Sonnenschein. Dein ist mein schönstes Lied, weil es allein aus der Liebe erblüht. Sag mir noch einmal, mein einzig Lieb, oh, sag noch einmal, ich hab dich lieb.
Dang, Rob, you are turning those crickets on. Heard of, like, Gabriel Garcia Marquez writes about the apotheosis in butterflies. Those cicadas are going to run off with you. So, that was amazing, huh? How about another round of applause for Rob? We're smiling here anyway, at least until the midterm elections. Yay, midterm elections. Go Texas, you're doing great, really. Speaking of Texas, Gilbert and Sullivan are certainly a dynamic... That was a really arbitrary transition. You're supposed to notice that. There's like no connection at all. Thank you. Speaking of, that was the humor. That was the joke, right? There's no connection. None. Thank you. Thank you. Get used to it. Happening all night. Speaking of Texas, we'll try that joke again. Gilbert and Sullivan are certainly a dynamic dream libretto composition connection duo of something. Anyway, we are very fortunate tonight to have our own Katie Manukyan, who will be performing for us The Poor Wandering One from Pirates of Penzance. Yes, here Frederick, escaping his nursemaid Ruth, appeals to a group of beautiful young women to help him reform from his erstwhile piratical ways. Only lovely Mabel, played by Katie, responds with this ode of pity for the poor comely lad, and they fall in love, of course. Katie! I didn't realize my favorite French singer ensemble would be joining her. Welcome. Bienvenue.
These are all my sisters. Poor wandering one, though thou hast surely strayed, take heart and grace thy steps retrace. Wandering one, poor wandering one, if such poor
Ladies and gentlemen, Katie Manukyan with Ensemble. Always love it when Katie can join us. We've had her sing with us several times. She was a big part of our virtual concerts. You should check out the one she does with her kids from a couple months ago. It's hilarious. It's fantastic. At some point, Desiree will remind me what month that was, but it's a great one to watch, and she's just fantastic. Also, if anyone wants to learn like difficult Eastern European languages, you want to catch Katie before she goes. So yes, woo! Big round of applause. Someday Desiree will let me sing my own favorite pirate song. Being a pirate is all fun and games till somebody loses an eye, but not today. Yarr! So now, next up, a bright comet of young talent, our own Chantal Braziel sings You've Lost That Lovin' Feeling by the Righteous Brothers. No, not really. Not that song. Really Chantal, but not You've Lost That Loving Feeling. Chantal is going to be headed to the Met in late September to reprise her role in Porgy and Bess. So for a mere $10, check written to Aria412, we can arrange for autographs and that memorabilia, clippings of her toenails, and various other accoutrements. Was that gross? Did that go south? Sorry, it went a little too far. Sorry, Chantal. You never know what you're going to get. I'm like a box of chocolates. So, actually, Chantal is going to be singing Can't Help Lovin' That Man from Showboat. Yes! It was composed by Jerome Kern with Oscar Hammerstein providing the lyrics based on Edna Ferber's best-selling novel of the same name. I did not know that before this song. It follows the lives of the performers, stagehands, and dock workers across 40 years from 1887 to 1927 and features other classic songs that you're all familiar with like Old Man River, Make Believe, and of course this, Can't Help Lovin' That Man, Desiree's theme song. She tries hard, but she can't help it because I'm so sexy. Yeah, it's hard to see, I know, but now Mark's apologizing for me. Chantal actually has to come up here and sing, so take it away, Chantal. You didn't know what you were getting.
Why I should
Another big round of applause for Chantal. That was amazing. Next up, a dream duet featuring our very own Kelly Lynch and Rob Frankenberry. It's another Franz. That's what I said. Lahar. That's what I said. I said that. It's an Austro-Hungarian hit. Love is Mine at Last from The Little Tsar. The opera is loosely based on the... Now pay attention here, there's a quiz. The opera is loosely based on the true story of Peter the Great's son Alexei, who runs away to Italy with his Finnish mistress. Anyway, so much for the context. That's all you're going to get, and believe me, nothing else in this thing makes any more sense than that. So you've got all the information. Now you're ready. This is a multiple choice question. How does the operetta end? A, they get married. Everything's good, y'all. B, now no tells, Denny. No tells. And you must answer in the form of a question. Not really, though. It's a multiple choice that you must answer in the form of a question. B, at first Alexei thinks the Finnish girl is a guy, and then they get married. Or C, everything I just said in B, except that Peter the Great dies, Alexei has to go home and has to leave the Finnish person behind. Who says A? No A's, huh? B? Any B's? One B. How about C? C, yes. Yes, it's C. And C is for Kelly. How's that for a transition? Huh? You weren't expecting that. Anyway, what an amazing transition to Love is Mine at Last.
Schweig
Good heavens, that was beautiful. What do you think? How about one more round of applause? You know, I'm just an old goof, but I've had a life just filled with music. You know, they come and they rehearse. We've got the piano, the kids through the years. Desiree teaches voice lessons. They come, you know, people like Rob and Kelly just come in the house all the time. Matt Gillespie, who doesn't get nearly the credit. There's a lot of moving parts at Aria412, but the beating heart is the accompanist, to Matt here. And to have like a life filled with music that I totally don't deserve is just astounding. I'd rather be lucky than smart, and it's working. So anyway, bravo Rob and brava Kelly. Maria, how do you say that in Italian? Bravo. Sorry. Bravi. There's a joke there. I'll tell you later, Enrico. It's too long to tell here. Anyway, a truly brilliant performance from Rob and Kelly. Please put your hands together one more time. Let them know. Speaking of bright lights, we have a new singer with us tonight, Zoie Beckas. Please welcome her as she comes to the stage to sing I'd Rather Be Me. Yeah, from Jeff Richmond's Mean Girls, the musical. The book is by Tina Fey, and it's based on the 2004 film of the same name. The musical premiered in 2017. That's recent enough where we ought to be charging you like it's Broadway, but we're letting you off the hook tonight. This song happens near the end of Act 2 as a lot of people continue to be mean to each other in a millennial melting pot of puritanical judgment and rage worthy of Nathaniel Hawthorne. Honestly, the plot goes totally over my head at about the 5-minute mark, and I've read Finnegan's Wake like 3 times. I can't understand it. Maybe one day Zoie will explain it to me, but not today. Instead, she will sing I'd Rather Be Me, and I'm going to enjoy it. Take it away, Zoie. You be you.
The world doesn't end, it just feels like it does. So raise your
Nicely done, Zoe. Amazing. Another big round of applause for Zoie Beckas. Thank you so much for putting that together for us. It's also really nice to be able to say the name Zoe again since our Zoe left for Chicago. So you can come back as much as you want. I'll just say Zoe, Zoe, Zoe. You rock! And with another amazing Soteres transition, such as you have grown accustomed to. Speaking of rocks, we have my favorite Greek singer with us tonight for the second time in as many months. Thespina Christulides brings us that Irving Berlin classic, You Can't Get a Man with a Gun, from Annie Get Your Gun. It was a massive hit from its debut in 1946, which led to multiple revivals and a film version in 1950 with Betty Hutton as Annie Oakley. By the way, Ethel Merman debuted the role in the musical, but I digress. The musical features other eternal classics such as There's No Business Like Show Business and Anything You Can Do, I Can Do Better. I don't think anyone here is going to do this song better than Thespina. Here she comes! Put your hands together once again for Thespina. What an amazing thing, right? One of the things, totally. One of the things we really pride ourselves on here is, we focus on accessibility. We do opera and operetta, but we bring in musical theater and the occasional rock song, that's been altered for the stylings. And, we think it makes it fun. We hope you'll continue to come and tell your friends about us. Bring kids. We'd love to see more kids here. If they don't, this is the venue, right? So if you've got little kids running around and you're worried that they're going to cry, we can handle that. That's fine, right? That's what we're wired for. If they don't fall in love with it when they're 6 and 7, then they're not going to fall in love with it, right? There's nothing quite like it when they're exposed to the arts early. So if you've got friends with little kids, tell them to come. This is the perfect place to bring them. If they start crying, you can throw them over the fence. There's a swing right over there. And, whatever it takes. Even baby. So Zoe, I like to say Zoe's first opera was in Desiree's belly. She was in Abduction from the Seraglio inside Zoe's belly, and she would go like in the baby carriage after that. And, she learned to sit still and be quiet because she was immersed in it. So anyway, I'm off my soapbox now. I get the feeling we'll be seeing more of Thespina and no guns required. Next up, a duet with my own love, Desiree Soteres, and her dashing duettistical partner, the ever-flourishing Rob Frankenberry. They will be singing How Deep Is Your Love by the Bee Gees. How deep is your love? Do you feel my love? Before you sing with Rob, do you feel how deep my love is?
It's not Kevin.
Anyway. Looks like, nope, they're not singing How Deep Is Your Love by the Bee Gees. They're singing Deep in My Heart, Dear, from The Student Prince by Sigmund Romberg. Romberg. I'm mildly, thank you. I'm doing the best I can, people. I'm mildly disappointed. Was hoping for How Deep Is Your Love, but I'll get over it. 'Twas a passing fancy, a night fever, if you will. Like the Bee Gees, The Student Prince was the hottest thing going during its era. It was the longest-running Broadway show of the 20s, with 608 performances. Not even Showboat matched it. I like the old drinking song from it, but I can't wait to hear the song stylings of Desiree and Rob. Rob, watch those hands, okay? All right, good. That's better. Easy there, buddy. Easy there. I see that thing, that handkerchief you got going. It just says, bring the sexy.
Better be sexy.
Hands. Feet flat on the ground at all times.
Of love I've often heard, and all its joys, how every heart is stirred, both girl and boy. But growing love alone is tender bliss. My lips have never known another's kiss.
Oh, tell me if within your heart you know a tender longing sweet as mine.
A spell that fills me full of joy, and through my life like wine, the joy divine.
It is the spring that's calling you and me. Joy is in the air, cast away all care,
Ah, yes. It wouldn't be an Aria412 concert if my wife didn't find a way to sing a duet with a guy who was smarter, funnier, handsomer, and more talented than me. But of course, that applies to every man in the audience as well. So you may end up singing with Desiree yourselves.
And Frankenberry's winning the step contest.
And by the way, one more round of applause for Desiree and Rob. That was beautiful. Yeah, they were great. Loved the chemistry especially. Yay. And now, go Texas. You're doing great. And now, with just 2 songs to go, I'm delighted to introduce Seamus Ricci singing with Aria412 for the first time. I can hardly believe it. He's been such a close part of our family over the years, and I don't know, he's just been too busy. But now, he's here, and he's going to regale us with You'd Be Surprised by Irving Berlin, written in 1919. Eddie Cantor incorporated it into Ziegfeld's Follies. It was done by Marilyn Monroe in 1954 with alternate lyrics, and Madeline Kahn, and I actually know for a fact this is how Seamus learned about it and came to love the song. Madeline Kahn sang it at Carnegie Hall in 1988 for Berlin's 100th birthday celebration. Seamus, I'm not going to be surprised when you crush this song. Woo!
would be surprised.
How many of you knew that song? Yeah? I mean, again, one of the cool things doing what I do, right? I mean, people bring forward all this new sort of stuff. You think you know everything, and you've listened to a lot of concerts, and there's always some surprising new song. So, Seamus, thank you for that. It's a lovely song selection and a beautiful performance. Thank you. So here we are. It's getting dark. I can barely read my notes. So we're going to have to end this thing. Down to the last dream of the evening. My favorite French singer ensemble will gather to end this with Sing to Love from one of my favorite operas, Die Fledermaus. Now, I told you I wasn't going to look anything up. Everything I said you should not believe. So, I know that Fledermaus means bat. So clearly, in English, the classical rendering of the title is Die Bat. It's got to be, right? I mean, what else could it be? Why they are trying to kill a Hungarian bat is beyond me. Such strange dreams. But I digress again. Die Fledermaus was composed by Johann Strauss the Younger and premiered in 1874 in Vienna. It's about, let's not get caught up in all that. A bunch of people get confused and they drink a lot. There's a bunch of jealousy and some rage. In opera, the solution to all emotional extremes is to either flirt, languish, or drink. And in this song, no one is languishing. So you can see where this is headed. Take it away, ensemble! Much shouting and blasting. Bring it on. Bring it home, people. Let them know you liked it. That's our show tonight. Please put your hands together again for our talented homegrown Pittsburgh performers, Zoie Beckas, Chantal Braziel, Rob Frankenberry, Thespina Christulides, over there, woo! Disorienting, Katie Manukyan, there we go, and Seamus Ricci. Oops, getting dark. Our Aria412 High C Dreamweavers, with a shout out to Gary Wright. Oh, Dreamweavers. Or as always, Kelly Lynch and Desiree Soteres. And do not forget our own accompanist, Matt, Los Provocativos Dedos, Gillespie. That means sexy fingers. I am your bottom's dream from Shakespeare, for 'tis true, I have no bottom. Thank you again for coming. Share with your friends, and if they'd rather stay virtual, remember that you can always catch our shows on Aria412 Pittsburgh's YouTube channel. We're here to promote accessible opera and reach out to new audiences, including the little ones, like I mentioned before. That's one reason we're outside, people. We use local talent and we pay them. Your donations continue to make that possible, so please feel free to give if you are able, with either a few bucks in the virtual non-existent basket. It's over there. Or through our Aria412 Pittsburgh website. And please be safe going home. Before you go, a member of the Aria412 family is Victory Brinker. Anyone know that name? Yeah. She's from Latrobe. She's made the semifinals of America's Got Talent, and she's singing tonight. So download that AGT app. Desiree's been her voice teacher for the past 3 years. She's 9 years old, and she is a dynamo of glorious talent. Make sure to get on there and vote 10 times for Victory, and don't vote for anyone else. I don't care how good they are. There you go. Check out our video again on YouTube, The Summer Beach Party, where I interview her as Left Shark. That was amazing fun. Yes. I'm just waiting for AGT to discover me as Left Shark. I figure it's just a matter of time. And let's see, the only other thing I want to plug is Shakespeare in the Park starts up in September. Check it out. They're fantastic. It's a lovely sort of Pittsburgh institution, been going on for 10, 12 years. They're doing Hamlet this year, an all-female cast, extraordinary. So think about it. I hope you can make one of those parks at one of those times. Please be safe going home, and thank you so much for coming. Woo!